So here it is, 2001 Grand Am, and I'm going to try to give this car a review. I don't know how my focus is here because my camera doesn't autofocus. It's meant for pictures, not video. So video mode it doesn't autofocus, but as you can see, this car is aged pretty well. Hope the wind noise isn't too terrible. I don't really have a mic cover. What this car is about in a review. I don't plan on selling it anytime soon. Try not to trip up here. Alright, so I'm in the car now, and what this car basically is, you gotta consider the year this car was made, and this car is pretty good by design. The designers and engineers knew what they were doing when they built this car, to be honest. What ruined this car is General Motors cost management guys. Whoever does the cost management engineering, or whoever did that, you get stuff like this, the plastic. It doesn't age so well and you get cracks, and some of the other stuff seems cheap, like this little knob was held on by a piece of plastic about as thin as a piece of paper, and if you pull the body panel apart, some of the places where you could tell that there was a fastener designed into it, the fastener was deleted, and you can even see it in the mold. Like whoever made the mold didn't even clean the molds up on the backside, so you could tell it was meant to be fastened in more places. So whoever engineered the car knew what the hell they were doing. It's the cost management that screwed this car up. Even you can see the airbag popping out. Some of these things, they aren't as trim as they should be, and they were pretty flush when the car was new, so age has caught up with this car, and don't mind my junk too much. The vents are kind of nice, spinny, everything is geared to the driver. So what this was meant to be was, back in 2000, it was a driver's car for under 25 grand, and I got it 1 year old, so I got it for 16 grand. So basically what you got was a driver's car back when nobody else was building them. Of course, you could get a BMW, which is like $40,000, or perhaps maybe a Subaru, but that's like 35 grand. So consider the price difference, and you were getting a bargain. So like, what could you get that would be comparable for the price? Well, you could either get a Miata slightly used, or a CRX, but you're not going to be able to fit people in the back seat. This car is about a mid-sized car. It's just like 2 inches under what qualifies a mid-sized car, so you can actually see full adults in the back. One of my favorite things about this car is it does a power on self-test. So if I turn the key on, all the gauges and lights, they come on, and if you start it, you get that. So it tells you if all the gauges work and everything right from the start. Everything is geared ergonomically to the driver. Steering ratio is nice and tight. And there is truth about the wider is better that the marketing people told you about. You have the wheels at the corners, and the car does handle really good and tight. And the steering ratio is quick. The only thing that's odd about this car is it has a slightly negative Ackerman angle, so what you get when you turn around in the parking lot is it kind of handles like a truck, but when you get past 30 miles an hour, this thing sticks to the road and sits flat. And I don't think there's anything else in this price range unless you go smaller that can do that. And you also have to consider the model year. In 2000 and about 1998 to 2002, you weren't going to find that in this price range. So even though people give this car a lot of shit, you got to consider what it was back in the day. If you were expecting a sports car, you're going to be disappointed, but if you wanted a good driver's car sedan, yeah, it does the job, and it sticks to the road surprisingly well despite the years. Now, you didn't find anything comparable till about like 2007, 2008. and then you got better cars for the money, but back in 2000, no, you weren't going to see that. So you had to spend at least 10 grand more to get the same kind of handling and stuff. Fords or Hondas or whatever back then, they weren't doing the same thing. I mean, they might have had peppier engines and stuff, but if you wanted to just yank the car and have it go right or left, they would not sit flat. And you're not going to find that in a factory trim, at least. And this car had that, which was a good deal for like 16 grand. So just seeing if anyone else wants to do a review of this car, give it a proper full shot and walk around in video footage, this would be a one to do, because it is fun. What you want to do is, if you can, get it to an SCCA course or something where you can throw it on the cones with some sticky tires or something. It will go. The only thing tricky is you gotta figure out how to break the rear tires loose, but once you do that, you are set. You will throw this car and it just goes. I was going to go on more, but I think my timer ran out, because this camera can only record 5 minutes at a time. Like I said, it wasn't video. So I don't know if I recorded all of it. And that's annoying, because I was hoping to tell you more. I don't have a GoPro in here. But the engine, basically, it doesn't want to go above 5 grand. But it will go all the way to 120. Anyhow, that's it. I guess I'll let somebody else review this car who has the equipment. But it's not going to happen anytime soon. I don't know if it'll happen with this specific one. I also have the dual post mirrors, because the Mickey Mouse ears look like crap. So I had all that from the dealership. That was a nice design feature. Everything on the interior flows nicely. Even though the plastic's cheap, like I told you about the cost management earlier. And that's about it, I guess. I'm going to wrap it up because, like I said, my camera isn't the best for this. And I don't know if I got the part about my transmission. I'll see if I can edit the video. It's a 4T45 transmission, which kind of sucks, but it's what you get. So all you're stuck with is automatic. This car would be better with a stick, because the way the engine is, all the torque is on the bottom. Once you go above like 4,500 or something, it just like runs out of steam, so you don't even want to bother going at the red line. There's no point to it. And this stuff is actual leather here, so it's not bad. Everything's where you want it as a driver, but it's just, it's not a manual, so you can't make the best use of the engine, because what it does is it will downshift between 45 and 60. Or 45 and 65, and there's no grunt there because the engine will downshift into the red line where there's no power. If it's stuck in the gear, just powered through it, it would be a lot better. But the way they programmed this, they didn't match the transmission to the engine so well in that band. So you'll go like a cat out of hell, or a cat with its ass on fire from 0 to 40, and then out there you just kind of sit, and once you get past 70, you get power again.